Hey everybody, it's Aaron Norris with the Norris Group. It is Friday, January 3rd. Happy New Year. And how are you targeting millennials in 2020? That and much more as we cover the biggest headlines in real estate. Up on the radio show and podcast this week, we have Derek Harms. He is a realtor with Compass, a real estate investor, and the president of NSDRAI. We cover a lot of ground over the next 2 weeks, including accessory dwelling units, adding square footage, the Compass brand, technology, and so much more about the San Diego market. Don't miss that on the radio show and podcast. According to the latest S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price Index, home prices increased at a faster pace in October, increasing 3.3% annually. Pending home sales increased 1.2% in November, according to the National Association of Realtors. And Freddie Mac reported mortgage rates decreased slightly, with 30-year rates at 3.72% and 15-year rates at 3.16%. If you missed it on social media, I released a Forbes.com article right before the end of the new year on accessory dwelling units. It's titled 2020, the Year of the ADU. Why do I think 2020 is going to be a big year? Well, the state of California just released like 5 different bills. I get a lot of questions about ADUs these days, and it's a lot of fun. Just because you can doesn't mean that you will, or that you actually will be able to. There are going to be some workarounds, but there's a lot of interesting things happening in California that if it goes well, I think a lot of other states are going to fall in line. And that's being met with technology, everything from prefab manufacturing to 3D printed homes. So don't miss that. We'll link to it in our blog post, so go click it, support me. That'd be awesome. Zillow sees a cool down for the California housing market. The Zillow Home Expectations Survey says the hottest housing markets are expected to come from the South and not Southern California. 110 economists were surveyed by Pulse Economics and Zillow. The most optimistic areas that they thought were going to happen in 2020 is Austin, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, and Nashville, Tennessee. They are not so excited about California's traditionally hottest markets, including San Francisco, San Jose, and Los Angeles, giving them net scores of -40, -38, and -35, respectively. But San Diego has decided to market that they're least worst on the list. They're down -14 as far as their net score on the survey, but yeah, California. What are you going to do? Looks like there is a new trend rising in Los Angeles amid the price of buying homes reaching record highs in 2019, and that trend is tenancy in common, also known as TICs. TICs allow 2 or more people to hold title to a property. Each tenant has their own loan, and shares of the property might even vary. One person might hold 25%, while the other holds 75%. But the entire property is owned by all tenants, and the property taxes are split pro rata share of however many shares they own. The money aspect is a little bit more complicated, and not a lot of banks are going to lend on this kind of thing because you're responsible for paying property taxes as a percentage of what you own, and what if you don't pay it? The other partner in the TIC is going to be held liable, and so therefore lending gets a little bit messy. There are some lenders I've heard out there doing this, and I have some real estate investors looking into this as ways to get around ADU laws. So we'll see if it gets more popular as lending gets a little bit more aggressive and competitive here in California in 2020. The U.S. Census Bureau reported only 1 in 3 millennials own their own homes, and it is no secret that rental sites know this and target millennials almost exclusively. Adam Data tells us how these sites are reaching millennials. They're highlighting the property features millennials want to see, like large spaces to socialize, outdoor space, and eco-friendly features, helping millennials chase the buzz with a map to the best local hotspots like restaurants, thinking outside the urban box and focusing on the surrounding nature, and then finally school data for new millennial parents. A story on CNBC tells us that the severe shortage of homes for sale is upending the sales calendar for the housing market. Spring has historically been the busiest buying season, but as competition for homes heats up across the country, January is apparently the new April. From 2015 to 2018, the peak month for average views per listing on Realtor.com was April. January lagged by a full 16%. In 2019, however, January was the busiest month on the site in 20 of the largest 100 metropolitan markets. Well, this year is going to be a lot of the same, and they expect January to be even hotter this year in more markets than in 2019. Since we just reported that everyone's going to go out and buy homes starting in January, Realtor.com has a very timely report about 5 first-time buyer mistakes that they make when buying. Number 1, slow down. When you look at 18 different homes in one weekend, you're not going to remember much Take lots of notes. Number 2, make sure the price is right. Remember, it is a business transaction and you need to leverage everything possible to get the best deal, but don't be that guy that goes in with a really high price knowing that you're going to negotiate later. Hate that. Number 3, buy for the future, not just for the baby on the way, but for all future family growth. This is a trend that we've seen for the last several years as more people are planning to stay in their homes a lot longer. Number 4, not up to code. Take the home inspection seriously and don't compromise. Don't trade charm for illegal. I like that. Well, unless you're going to turn it into an ADU. Go for it. And last, if you buy a duplex, hire a property management company. Everybody thinks it's real cute to be a property manager, especially with ADUs on the way. But in California, it is no joke to be a property manager, and you're going to want to make sure you do that right. But when it comes to 2020, how are we marketing millennials? When it comes to features and marketing, I would love to hear how realtors and investors out there, how you're targeting your marketing and reaching this very up-and-coming, unique market. Love to hear what you have to say. If you're on YouTube, please leave your comments below the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell if you'd like to receive notifications when we have new videos come online. If you're on Facebook or any other social media platform, please like and make sure to like the Norris Group page so you can find our content online whenever we produce it. Leave your comments below the video, give us some love, and don't forget to share. If we missed a story, also feel free to leave a link in the description below. We would love to see you out and about all over California. We have a very busy week coming up. January 7th, you'll catch 6 things to succeed in 2020 with Prosperity Through Real Estate in Culver City. January 8th, the next day in Glendale, we'll be doing that same chat with Robert Hall and Associates. And the next day after that, we'll be in Costa Mesa with OC RIA doing the very same chat. Don't forget to sign up for Turmoil February 1st. It's our very first hybrid event where we're marrying market timing with strategies. We have some very special guests that we'll announce later in the month. But you will be very happy to find out that our subscription is included in the attendance for a single member. So it's a really great way to get a lot of education on the timing and the strategy side for an awesome 2020.